You know, the question of war memorials and statues is a question on which people of good faith can reasonably disagree. And there are people with good morals and good intentions on both sides of that debate. And it is an agonizing issue for many because it revisits our country's troubled history with race relations and slavery. The original sin of America was slavery, and we fought a bloody civil war to expunge that sin. And I think that issue is going to be resolved differently, community by community. I think different local communities will make different decisions, and I think that's their prerogative. I think it's appropriate that different communities will make different decisions. I don't think it's beneficial to go through and try to sanitize history and try to erase the Civil War. We have a history that needs to be presented fairly. It needs to be presented in context. It needs to clearly enunciate the evils of slavery. But also, a great many Americans fought and bled and died to end slavery. Part of our nation's history was the valiant effort at abolition. A great part of our nation's history is the incredible arc of civil rights. Civil rights movement was an extraordinary movement in our nation's history, expanding civil rights to all Americans regardless of race, of ethnicity, regardless, as Dr. Martin Luther King powerfully said, of the color of your skin, instead a society where we would be judged by the content of our characters. Few things are more quintessentially American than that journey from bondage to freedom. And so I don't think we should go through and simply try to erase from history prior chapters, even if they were wrong. But I think that's a decision each community needs to make as to how to appropriately acknowledge that history, how to commemorate that history, how to recognize that history.
So you wouldn't have a mass taking down of...
I suspect different communities will approach this issue differently.
For you personally?
I don't think we should be sanitizing our history to erase the Civil War.